And I'll say this quite plainly because the politics here aren't subtle. When a leader in a corruption trial tries to halt the process by appealing to the head of state, the presumption is not that he is innocent, the presumption is that he expects the trial to end badly. That's not a legal judgment, that's a political one. But it's drawn from the logic of power rather than the content of the case. People don't ask to be pardoned for things they believe the court is going to end up dismissing. They ask to be pardoned because they no longer trust the court to deliver the outcome they want. And for a man who has spent years presenting himself as Israel's indispensable figure, the embodiment of stability, the only leader who can navigate crisis after crisis, this is the moment where the story he's been pushing runs out of road. Because it doesn't matter how defiant the public statements are or how aggressive his talking points become, the request itself is the admission, not of guilt in the legal sense, he still denies that, but of political vulnerability, institutional weakness, and personal fear. And fear is the one thing his political persona cannot survive, because the entire Netanyahu project has been built on the idea that he is the master of the game, always 10 steps ahead, always the most experienced, always the one who sees the dangers others miss. But a pardon request before conviction is not a move of mastery, it's a move of retreat. And retreats are rarely forgiven inside a coalition dependent on perceived strength. And here's the pressure point nobody's saying out loud, but everyone understands. If Herzog denies the request, which is the only realistic outcome if he wants to keep the presidency intact, Netanyahu's entire strategy shifts. He will not accept the refusal quietly. He will fold it into the narrative he's been building for years, that the institutions are biased, that the judiciary is hostile. It's all a witch hunt, that the elites are conspiring, that the system he can govern for decades is somehow now rigged against him. He'll use a refusal as proof of persecution because persecution has become his one and only shield. And that shields him politically in the short term, but it burns the remaining legitimacy of the system in the long term. Because you cannot have a functioning legal order when the head of government encourages the public to see every independent institution as an enemy.